You're listening to the Just Wins podcast, where we discuss winners, black bookers, and much more. Enjoy the show.
Can he do it? Chautauqua, he's flying! Yes! There's history!
But a champion becomes a legend! Makoni Deaver's won it! But the pride of Australia is the greatest show on earth.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Just Wins podcast. We're at podcast number 21 for Saturday, the 19th of September. We've got some massive Group 1s this weekend, and we're getting so close to those cups and a plate later in the spring. As always, I'm your host, Just Wins. First, I'll shout out to Adam. How you going, mate?
G'day, mate. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. And Lee, you there, mate?
Yeah, hey, boys. Good to be here. I'm excited.
Yep, that's the way. It's exciting stuff, and I know why you were excited, Lee, but it was your result last week, wasn't it?
Boosted out to 34, so I was pretty pumped with that, mate. And unfortunately, it didn't get me through the rest of the day. I didn't have too much success after that, but that got me over the line for a bit of profit anyway. So still walking high, I guess you could say.
Yep, pretty brazen getting the job done, and congratulations on being the first Roughie Roulette winner for the podcast. Good to see. Everyone else was a bit off on the weekend, myself included. I can't even remember what I backed last week. Oh, yeah. Amici, no good. I just can't catch either of him and Chico Malegro at the moment. And Van Dyke said Amici's off for a spell, just never ran up to it. So, and then race 9, Aliferous, it had every chance as well. Just, I don't know whether to win another race. And I think we all just looked at that afterwards and just went, well, if you can't win that, you'll never win another one. So not to be. Napoleon Solo ran midfield for our lay of the day, which was good for us. Molly's Rocking actually went okay. Ran 4th in a small field, albeit. But at one point I thought was going to get over the top, but wasn't quite up to him that day. Just needs to fix hanging in. But there's a win for it. And myself and Adam, we both got Fierce Impact up in the Group 1, which got me out of a bit of sting. And Adam, what did you make of that win?
Yeah, it's a good win, well-deserved win, wasn't it? He's a genuine Group 1 miler, that guy. He's come a long way since he was getting beaten in benchmark 80 odds in December a year or so ago, I think it was. He wasn't looking, he was like he was going to measure up to the opinion people had of him, but yeah, he's definitely proven us wrong and has really developed into a top liner.
He's won 3 Group 1 now.
Yeah, he has. What were they? They're all in Melbourne too, aren't they? He won the Cantala, Toorak, and now the Makani Diva.
And ran 4th or 3rd in the All-Star Mile as well. So he's definitely one that's just kept blossoming with age and probably reminiscent. I think he's out of Deep Impact, so it makes a bit of sense there. But yeah, it was good to see. But
I think that's all Flemington over the mile as well, aren't they? Those 3.
I think one was at Caulfield, mate. The Toorak,
and
the other 2 at Flemington. Yeah, but yeah, definitely Flemington. He loves that bit of space, that horse.
Yeah, and I think him running, I think it was 2nd or 3rd the week before in Melbourne, tees up nicely for the George Main Stakes, which is the Group 1 later. We got Very Elegant going around. Adam, we'll talk about Very Elegant, but first let's tell the followers how you went on the weekend.
Yeah, so outside of Fierce Impact, it was a frustrating day for me. I had Fun Star go down, our Just Win special. Bit of a overconfident ride by J-Mac, in my opinion. Just left her a little bit vulnerable late, but she ran well. Just, we did no prizes and running second for us, unfortunately. So that was a little bit disappointing. Yonkers in one of the earlier races in Sydney, I was really disappointed with the tactics they employed on that horse. They jagged it back from the wide gate, and it was given absolutely none. And flashed home, ran a nice 5th or 6th. It's a horse to follow if they draw a better gate and ride it correctly. Subpoenaed my Roughie. She ran all right. She's a bit of a tease, that horse. I don't know. She'll probably win one day, but not sure I'll be on.
She's in the sea for you, surely.
Yeah, I know, mate. She should be, but I don't know, she just has something about her. I can see a big race
Well,
coming up one day.
I heard Group 1 winner come out of your mouth last week.
I said Group 1 ability, not winner.
Oh,
Different
right.
things.
Group 1 swimming, I'd say.
Group 1 swim, yeah, she'd be a good swimmer for sure. And then
Yeah.
I did have a good result actually. I got Masked Crusader beat again. He as I expected, he ended up getting caught wide. He ran well, and hasn't lost any admirers in my opinion. But it was good to get the lay right.
No, he was actually really good, I thought. He finished a lot closer than he should have. A weaker horse would have definitely dropped back off that wide run. So I wouldn't drop off him yet if I was a follower. There's been a few instances with all of us where we've laid something, it's run second or third, and then it's come out and won the week after. For instance, I've had Skate to Paris recently do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Masked Crusader follows that up. But yeah, you also had Arkham Knight that flashed home late at Morphettville. It'll be winning soon.
Yeah, it was a hell of a run. They're actually backing him up this week in Adelaide, but he struck a tough race there, so I don't think that'll be the one he wins. But yeah, he's worth keeping an eye on. He loves a bit of sting out that horse, so look for him on a soft track.
Yep, fair enough. No, a bit the same as me, Adam, with Fierce Impact, our real shining star there. Horses to follow. I've actually got a couple this week. It's I usually just haven't seen much, but I think there's two. You back Ecumenical in Morphettville, Adam, but the winner there, Instant Celebrity, she's a star. She's only lightly raced and she's heading towards the Guineas, but if she can pull out those late sectionals like she did on the weekend, she'll be winning that. I think she's a great horse to follow. And then also, I think talking about Fierce Impact, Russian Camelot definitely lost no admirers there. He was 3 wide the majority on the trip in a red hot race, and he's got goals later on. I think I've tipped him for the Cox Plate, and I'm quite happy with myself after that run. What do you guys think, Lee?
Yeah, I big fan of Russian Camelot on the weekend. I think we all sort of deep down sort of knew he was pretty good after he won the South Australian Derby. We didn't know how deep that was, obviously, but geez, he's some horse, 3 wide. He just settled him down. And what it looked like was he just wanted to get him in a bit of a rhythm. And obviously they've got bigger targets later down the track. And I don't think they were necessarily wanting to win this, but geez, he loomed up like he was going to win. And then I think Fierce Impact was obviously the run of the race. It's sat just in off the speed, and the ride was brilliant, and he just got it out at the right time. And it was just too strong for Russian Camelot in the end, but Russian Camelot didn't want to give it up. So I think we can definitely follow it moving forward. The other one from that is Master of Wine as well. I thought he was really good out to 1600, and I think that's it. I think that's the first time that way of going in Australia. So I think that was a big positive, and he's obviously going to get better the further out in trip he's going to get. But look, boys, I was moving on the weekend, so I didn't get a hell of a lot of look at a lot of races. But the one I did see that I really liked was a horse called Inverloch. So it ran around at 100 to 1 on the weekend. My dad actually put it in the quaddie, and I said, "You're an idiot," because it will not run anywhere. And it ran 4th, beaten 1.5 lengths over 1400, and it was against genuine 1400 meter horses in that race as well. And he's a 2,000 meter plus, so I think we can really follow him. I think he'll be right up to it in some of those fringe staying races over the carnival. He might even get away with like a Group 3. Some of those sort of lead ups to the Cup, Herbert Powers, Lexus, those sort of races. The way he's come back, he's definitely going to be in some of those.
Yeah, I remember watching the Betfair markets coming up to that race, and there was a little bit of specking for Inverloch. He definitely got that nice rails run from memory, so I think that was partially to do with it. But as he said, if he's doing it over that 1,400 metres, he should be able to extend beyond that. But you want him to put a couple of efforts in like that before you start backing him, I guess. And yeah, Master of One was good. Probably just a bit more on Russian Camel, only a little bit more. He did play up before he went in the barriers as well, which adds a lot of merit to his cause. He's probably got lucky this year because he plays up and the crowd, I guess, would usually get to him, but he's got lucky this year considering the Cox Plate's usually packed and won't be this year. So if he can draw wide and be one of those last ones in the gate, yeah, I think it will benefit him. But we'll see what happens. Adam, did you see anything over the weekend?
Well, firstly, just say I agree with both Instant Celebrity and, of course, Russian Camelot. Instant Celebrity, yeah, she's a star. The only thing that's a bit frustrating with her is she's really well found in the markets for the big races. I think she's equal favourite or second favourite for the 1,000 guineas. So there's no real spoils there for us, unfortunately. But she'll be right up in those. And then Russian Camelot. In my opinion, I don't think as long as he's keeps his head screwed on at the barriers, I don't think he'll get beaten again this prep. I think he's the weight for age star we've been waiting for since Winks. So
big call.
Yeah, I can't see him get beat. It's
big call, mate.
Cox
you
played
tend to throw those Group 1 tags around a bit too much, I think.
This one, I'm confident with this one. I was very impressed with that horse.
Yeah, he'll be winning a Group 1, yeah, for sure.
And just on that, I don't know if you guys are feeling the same, but he's got a little bit of So You Think about him as well. He's got this sort of arrogance about him.
100%.
And because he was the same, wasn't he? He liked to play up a bit. He had a tendency to over race a little bit and did a couple of things wrong. So I think he's definitely in that mould.
I just don't think he's quite So You Think. Like So You Think was probably a once in a decade sort of stallion. I don't think he's quite there, but you never know what he'll do this prep. So, and I think we talked about this as well. If I've got him down to win the Cox Plate, and then if we remember, they end up pushing on with So You Think after he won that Cox Plate, and he ended up running, I think it was third or fourth behind.
Yeah, ran third.
American, I think it was.
Yep.
So right. And he did that all on class. He just didn't quite stay the same as some of those more seasoned 2-milers. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. He might win both, and really put us to the sword.
Yeah, the thing with him that we've got to keep in mind is he's still a 3-year-old. He's Northern Hemisphere bred. He's carrying the 4-year-old Southern Hemisphere weight in these weight for age races. So he's only going to get better. He's got plenty of upside. And as I said, I'm going to go out and stick my neck out and say I can't see him getting beat at weight for age level again. Other things I wanted to follow. I've got to mention the Queenslander Roughie. What a star! You know, all the talks around Huey Bowman's ride, and yes, Hugh Bowman got it wrong. Don't get me wrong.
He got 3 weeks, mate.
I know, but I think the fact that everyone's so caught up in the hype of that horse, they just are missing the point that I think Roughie is a superior horse, and I hope I'm right, and I hope he proves it. But he's a star, and I just wanted to see him do that down there. You know, obviously he'd only ever been racing in Queensland, and to produce that performance on the weekend, I think he's the Golden Rose winner, and definitely big chance in the Everest. And then
Wiz, you're coming out with all guns blazing today.
I am. And then the other thing I wanted to follow, just one that got beat, Global Quest. He was first up over 1,500, never been beyond 1,200, and yeah, he did a little bit of work early, and it just told late with a good horse in Mwanga getting over him late. Mwanga's obviously the one to beat for the spring champion, but I think there's a good race for Global Quest somewhere along the line as well.
Yep, fair enough, mate. You've got a head full of steam. I like it.
Before we move on, I just want to mention a horse I want to watch this week. I'm not going to back it, but it has probably one of the...
You can't do that.
No, it's just the first starter, so that's all. But I just want to watch it because it's got one of the best names going around, and that's Morphettville Race 2. It's called Screaming Eagle. I haven't seen a better name yet. That's fantastic.
That's nearly as good as Mickey Drippin.
Yeah, one of the greats.
How have they got away with that?
I don't know. And I think the dam is Pure Fun or something like that. Yep, that's fantastic.
Well, don't go looking that up on Google. Everyone out there that's not doing, you might get something. But anyways, let's move on. Group 1 banter this week. We've got 2 Group 1s. The George Main Stakes in Sydney. We're sort of going to gloss over because, Adam, I'm pretty sure both you and Lee are going to pick Very Elegant.
I've had a bit more of a look into that race, mate. I do think Very Elegant's on top, and the horse to beat, but just it's a small field. There's going to be a lack of pace. So I'm not as confident as I thought I was after my first thoughts. The horse I'm going to have a little nibble at just as a saver, just because I've been following him and spruiking him all along, is Imaging.
Yeah,
I've mentioned him a couple of times to us. He's been awesome in his first 2 runs this prep. Last start, he should have won that Wink Stakes, that Very Elegant one. He drew 17 and just, ran into plenty of trouble before flashing home for 4th. So I think up to a mile is in his favour. Yeah, as I said, he's flying. He'll settle midfield. As I said, it's a slow tempo, so not a lot of confidence, but I think he'll be thereabouts in the finish. So I'll have half a unit on him. I think he's $9 at the moment.
Yeah, $9. Lee, are you going with Very Elegant?
Oh, I'm probably. I was in the same boat as Adzi when I sort of first had a look at the field, but then same thing. There's not a whole lot of speed in that, and he's obviously got a bit of a tendency to throw a head around. So I won't be having a bet in that. Obviously, Dreamforce will go straight to the front. There's question marks for me over whether just against those other ones that are just genuine mile and that sort of middle distance range. He's obviously right in his zone between 14 and 16. So I think he might tire late, but he's obviously got every chance to be able to win at the 1600 in this. So I'm just not confident to have a play on anything in that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm a bit the same. I think the old boy Avilius will give Very Elegant a shake, but yeah, obviously not confident and willing to watch and see what happens there. But let's get into Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes at Caulfield. I think it's Caulfield race 7, boys, something like that.
Race 8.
Yeah, race 8.
Yeah, race 8.
Over the 1400 metres. The weights have been raised 2 kilos this year. And looking back, there's been a lot of 52 kilo winners in the past, or the recent past. So, but it's usually an extremely open race. And it'll be interesting to see what you guys pick, because anything could win this, in my opinion. Lee, I'll start with you first, since you're the Melbourne expert. What do you think?
Yeah, so good track at the moment. There's not really any rain expected, so expecting a good track down there, which is awesome on the weekend. Rail's out 3 metres. Now, Caulfield obviously leads. You're going to lean towards the on-pace runners, but with the rail out 3 metres, just traditionally it's been pretty much tempo related. So pretty similar to you up there in Brizzy with Doomben, mate. So this race, as you've sort of spoken about, it's always a tough race to assess, because it's a bit like the Oakley Plate. There seems to always be 14, 15, 16 runners in every field, with the Rupert Clarke being the way it sort of is, 1400, start of the spring, handicap. So it's really good jumping ground for a couple of, lower rated horses to really bound up in the ratings and get into some good races at the end of the carnival. And there's obviously plenty of form lines to look into. Just a couple of interesting points that I've made from the last 20 years, which is what I like to do, just have a quick squiz over the last 20 years. Only 3 horses have won with 58 kilos or more, and runners in the top 3 in betting have been the best performed, with 7 winners starting under $5 in that period of time. So
I think that's actually crazy, because, from memory, this is like, I think that must be the stigma around it. It just feels like it's a very open race, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. But yeah, looking at it, and there's a lot of horses that starting under that $5 mark, and then there was even 2 that started, one at $5.50 and one at $6, and the majority were in single figures. So, which is very interesting. Big fields, and as you sort of said, it's usually seen as an open race. And as you sort of spoke about, lightweight winners have been where it's at. I think the majority have been under 54 kilos. It's obviously changed a little bit this year, with the limit being at 54 rather than 51 or 52 in previous years. So what I've ended up landing on is number 4, Cascadian, at $13 and $4 a place. I'm just going to have half a unit each way on him. I think in this, with a big field and so much speed on, and I expect there's going to be plenty of speed on in this, I just wanted to back a horse that's performed at a mile, because I think it would be a truly run 1400, and I want a horse that's going to be strong at the end. And this gelding's absolutely performed at that trip. From his 6 goes, He's won twice, and he's had 2 further placings, and both of those are in Group 1 company, and both of those he was in within a long neck of the winner. He comes into this on the back of 2 very good runs at weight for age level and is suited back to a handicap. He's third up now and should be peaking. And the fact that Ollie Sticks is a good lead. Another thing in his favour is the draw. In the last 2 years at Caulfield with rail at 3 metres, barriers 7, 8 and 9, 50% of the winners have come from those 3 barriers of the races over 1,400. And not only that, but it's the perfect draw for this horse to sit midfield, 1 or 2 out with cover. And off the back of the likely hot tempo, he'll be perfectly positioned to come with one late run and finish over the top for a much-deserved Group 1, in my opinion.
So that's half a unit each way, mate?
Yep.
Half a unit each way on Cascadian at... I'm giving you $14 for bet 365, so don't tell me I never upgrade you. Yeah, there you go. Adam, what do you think about that? Are you going with Cascadian?
I'm not going with Cascadian, but I'm thinking along similar lines to what Lee is. I just want to say what a tragedy that showmanship went amiss this week. This was his race to win.
He bowled
100%.
I reckon.
Yep. What a shame. He's done a tendon too, so that's big doubts over his career. Unfortunately, such a shame. He's we were on him. We were riding him on this podcast since pretty much day dot. He won 5 or 6 in a row, and we mention him every time. So anyway, it's a shame, but I'm going with the same colours. Superstorm for the Williams team, Bobby Peters, and the Wizard of the West, Billy Pike, to ride. It's a shame about the gate. He's drawn out in 18, but he's going to get back anyway. I don't think it really matters. He'll be well back, and as Lee said, with that hot speed, I think you want a horse that's getting back and that can run a strong mile, and he ticks both these boxes. He was really good first up. He ran 9th, but he was good. He was only beaten under 2 lengths, and it was over the unsuitable 1100. He was really hitting the line well, and it's all we really wanted to see from him first up. So I'm thinking up to 1400. He gets in okay at the weights. He's raced well at Caulfield previously in the All-Star Mile. He ran second in that to Regal Power. I think he's a genuine Group 1 horse, and I'm just hopeful he'll be absolutely flying late straight over the top of them. So I'm going to have half a unit each way at the $10 that's available.
Yep, Pikey in the Group 1 for Adam was Superstorm at $10 and $3.30. For me, just to mention to Adzi as well. Just you're obviously worried about the draw, mate. Just through a bunch of data that I sort of collected, 5 winners have come from a 3-wide position over the 1400 at Caulfield. So that's about 20%. So just to add some confidence there, mate. I don't think the draw means as much as what we might think, especially with Caulfield, the way it's sort of set up, those sprint, 1,000 to 1,400, there's real big shoots. So they all get the chance to get a bit of cover. So, mate.
Thanks, mate. That's a good stat there. I'm
backing him up.
I might go a unit. I might go a unit each way. I'll keep it at half each way. But I'm definitely keen. I think he potentially could be the best horse in that race.
Oh, keep it safe, mate. Gee whiz, bold, you've got some lead in your pencil tonight, if I've ever heard it. But anyways, you guys are up the top of the market. I'm just going to go on Banquo, number 16 right down the bottom at $12 and $3.80. I'm not as confident in this race, so I'm going to go a quarter the win and 3/4 the unit the place. So 1 to 3 for those at home. The slick speed as expected, similar to what Lee was talking about. I'm looking for a horse that will position off the speed, couple pairs back, and off the rails. I hate them getting caught in these big races and needing luck at Caulfield. And I think Banquo gets that from barrier 6. He's on the quick backup, which he has done previously, and he ran 0.8 of a length 4th in the Sandown Guineas. They backed him that day $3.80 into $3.40. So I think that gives us a little bit of a guide on the backup. The writing was on the wall for this bloke, with this to be his target race after being nailed on the line by Microphone over this track and distance last prep in the Autumn Stakes. He carried 58 that day and ran good time, only 0.16 of a second slower than Behemoth's win recently in there. Last run down the straight at Flemington last week, I thought he was excellent to go down 0.2 of length to Zootori in a driving finish with the likes of Tofane, who's now Everest bound. But the thing I liked about it was he pushed in the breeze that day, and he also carried a bit of a sweat. So I think there was some improvement there off that, and I think this is his target. So at that $12 and $3.80, I'm hoping he can nudge out your two picks. They can run second and third. But yeah, I'd like to go 1 unit the win, 3 unit the play conservatively, 0.25 unit the win, and 0.5 units the place. Probably the only thing I've got to mention is we dropped off Behemoth last time and he got the job done. And then Lee, you're jumping off Pretty Brazen as well.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. I think there's one instance that's run on a quick backup and it was okay, and then any other form that it's got around 10, 11 day backup hasn't been great. I think this is just a bit of a shot at the stumps because it ran so well last week. So I wasn't keen to and I think she's more suited back to fillies and mares grade, as I spoke about. I think she'll be right in the money in some of those fillies and mares grade, even potentially a Maya. So I'd be waiting for her to get back to that sort of grade. And then Behemoth, just 60 kilos.
Just the weight.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about that. And I'd rather have a look for something at Cascadian's price than back a favourite with history against. And obviously history is there to be broken, but 60 kilos, a lot to carry when he's really only been getting in the Group 1s over the last sort of 6 to 12 months. And yeah, so look, he might win, but I'd happily back something else that's paying similar place than he is to win.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think we all echo those thoughts. Thanks very much, boys. We'll get into the tips now. Adam, you're in, where are you? Randwick on the weekend. What have you got for us?
Yes, mate. Raw Randwick, as we said, George Main Day. Should be a good track. It's a good 4 as of Thursday morning. There's a chance of showers, but it's quite a low chance. So if it does rain, it won't be too much, and I can't see it getting too wet. So hopefully a good surface. Rails in the true position, so hopefully we get a fair day's racing. I've got a couple of tips. My first one is in the first race, actually, so an early start, and I'm tipping the ultimate non-winner in A Theory, number 11, to finally break the duck. She's been a costly conveyance, but if she's ever going to win one, this is it. No luck last start. She drew the one gate with J-Mac aboard, and got held up in the straight, never saw daylight. From that run, she dropped 7.5 kilos. Throughout her career, she's pretty much been in stakes races nearly every race bar this prep. And in a benchmark 88 with 52 kilos, drawn where she wants to be, she should be able to settle midfield with cover. Should be able to get clear running from there, and hopefully she gets over the top of them. I'm going to have a unit to win at the $4.
Yep, nice and easy. A Theory at $4. Yep.
And then I'm having a bet on my best bet in Sydney is race 5, number 5, Probabile for Jamie Richards and Kieran McAvoy. They haven't been having much luck, the Kiwis, this spring after their great run through the autumn and last spring. They've been struggling a bit, but this mare first up, she was brilliant. She absolutely flashed home behind Rohiran after not having a lot of room in the straight. Second up and trip, all positives. Expect her to position midfield. There should be enough tempo in this with a couple like La Romaine and Quackerjack, if it starts, will go forward. So hopefully they run it along truly and she gets the chance to show her best. And I think if she does get clear air, she should be just too good for these. So I'll have a unit and a half at $3.30. Yep,
$3.30 for Probabile. I'd say you'll probably get a few deductions there because it looks to be about 4 or 5 horses in that race that could either go to Newcastle on Friday. But yeah, Probabile's been flying, and yeah, it should be in the finish for sure at $3.30. Just the 2, mate.
Yeah, and it was just imaging as well, as I said earlier, half a unit on him in the big one.
Yep. All right. So the summary for Adam at Randwick: race 1, A Theory at $4 straight out for 1 unit. Race 5 is the best bet, Probabeel, $3.30 for 1.5 units. And in race 6, Imaging, $9 just for the half unit win with only 7 horses in the field. Thanks very much, Adam. Lee, you're at Caulfield. It's a massive day there.
Yeah, excited for a big day at Caulfield on the weekend. So as I spoke about, it should be a good track. So he is hoping it's Melbourne weather doesn't give us any surprises. But got 3 bets there. The first one I'm going to kick off in race 1, number 4, Alvarado, at $6 and $2.15. Just going to have a unit each way on him. Tipped him a few weeks back and he was scratched for the Saturday but resumed midweek against the older horses and was good enough over 1,200 there on resumption. He has since jumped out nicely and they have added the blinkers on here. That jump out, he was just in behind Inverloch, which I think adds a bit of confidence there as well. He draws well in this and I think he maps well as well. Similar to his first start, he should sit in the 1 out and 1 back spot. Out to the mile now is definitely a big plus, and he's carried the weight before having run second to Cherry Tortoni with 60.5. That's much better form than what the rest of the field has been up against, and we're getting an each way price about him, so let's get on.
Yep, that's race 1, Alvarado, at $6 and $2.15. And probably while you touched on it, Cherry Tortoni is definitely one to follow for the rest of spring. Yep. Forgot about that.
It was brilliant, wasn't she? Yeah, wasn't he? And we forgot about that one. But he was great. He's definitely headed off to a big campaign towards the Derby. So good horse.
Yep, too easy.
The next one, I know what Adsy will think about this, but race 7, number 18, Canane, at $8.50 and $2.90. I'm going to have half a unit each way on him. Said last week in the wrap-up of Adsy's tips a couple of weeks ago that he needed 2,000 metres and he gets it on Saturday. This is the last real chance to, I guess, show that he is a genuine chance deep into the spring. And Waller knows that, having scratched 2 of his horses to get him into the field. Turns out he had a few excuses last start as well. He was hampered at the start. J-Mac was half a kilo over and was dominated up on speed. I think in this, he is the best horse at the middle distance trip, with some other horses having some question marks over them and easily the most dynamic on his day. This doesn't shape to be dominate out in front like last start. And with a bit of luck, he can slot in midfield, 1 out, and show us how good he is to finish over the top. So just banking that, he's going to improve out to that trip.
That's half a unit each way, is it, mate?
Yep.
Yep, no worries. Adam, what do you think of that?
Yeah, fair enough. As I said last start, I was disappointed in his effort, but yeah, we know he's going to be better out to 2,000. And as Lee said, we both on him for the Caulfield Cup, so we need him to be winning. So hopefully he does, live up to that promise he showed as a 3-year-old and put it all together at his right trip.
Yeah, needs to show his best. I think it's interesting, Lee, that Dr. Drill's in that race, and then you've also got Gamekeeper. I think Order of the Garter you tipped, and am I thinking of something else?
No, you're probably thinking of King of Leo Grant. So
something like that.
Yeah, but you're right. Both of those are definite chances. I just reckon he's better at 2,000. He's just a better horse at that trip than those two, so that's why I've gone him. So I'm just hoping that he gets better out to that trip anyway.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Race 7, Canane, next one.
Cool. And this is my best bet. I reckon it's the best bet in Australia on the weekend. That's race 9, number 6, Liar at $2.70. I want to have 1.5 units a win on her. She's a weighted certainty in this. I know she hasn't won in a while and been a bit of a milk drinker lately, but she's the highest rated horse by 5 to 34 rating points, and she gets into this under these conditions with 55 kilos. That's just crazy, and you have to be on, in my opinion. She also gets back to Caulfield, where she has seen the most success out to 1,200, which is her best trip, having never missed a place. And she goes well second up as well. Her first up run was good, slashing home to run second behind Diamond Effort in what will be a good form race. And we've spoken about that race prior on the poddy as well. She maps to get an easy time of it midfield off a good tempo, and she'll prove too good for this field. So let's just get on Unleash.
Unleash on what did you say?
Milk drinker, yeah. But look, if you look at her form, she's obviously been running in Group 1s and that sort of stuff. It wasn't long ago she ran second in a Goodwood or third in a Goodwood, and Obviously that form's been trumped with Behemoth being fourth, and she ran second in the start before that behind Bella Vella, and Bella Vella's come out and won again. So, yeah, she's just been in much superior form than this. So, this is her race.
It's her race. Every milk drinker's got their race. Isn't that right? All right, mate, that's the 3 at Caulfield, a rundown. We've got Alvarado at $6 and $2.15 for 1 unit each way. Race 7, Canane for half a unit each way. And race 9, Liar, his best of the day at $2.70 for 1.5. And obviously Cascade, in which we spoke about before. Thanks very much, Lee. I'm at the Gold Coast on the weekend. It's a good 4 currently with no real rain around. However, last week there was supposed to be rain and there didn't. So we'll see how we go. Pretty much no rail issues. And it looked really, really tricky. I'm going to start off with a couple of should-be winnings in a multi. Race 3, Run for Glory, $1.60. Into race 7, Kisakano at $1.70. They're pretty obvious what they'll do. They'll just they will be winning at $2.70 for the 1 unit, the win. Then I'm going to back Beaufort Park at $8 and $2.50 for half a unit each way. It deserves a crack at Saturday grade after 2 strong performances in Queensland. First up was on a hot tempo at the Gold Coast, and the Swooper won in no doubt a cracker. That horse has performed admirably since without winning. Beaufort Park, second up, bolted in here at the Gold Coast with 58.5 kilos and drawn perfectly in barrier 1 to sit behind that hot speed and sneak the rails run through. So that's race 3, Beaufort Park at $8 and $2.50 for each way. Race 9, I'm going to back a horse that I've tipped previously that would have won me a lot of money if it had won, but it didn't, was Happy Go Plucky, $17 for $4 and $4.60 the place for half a unit each way. As I said, tipped him 2 starts back and ran 4th, beaten 2.15 lengths to Skate to Paris, who has since gone on with it. Had absolutely no luck in the straight that day after being well back from 20s. Last start was in stronger grade, 3 wide the trip, and still managed to finish well, albeit 3.6 lengths by Chaotic, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at. Doesn't look a lot of pace in this race, and the Apprentice, who is actually pretty good, can push forward and find a spot close to the speed, carrying the top weight with 58 kilos. So that's my 2 at the Gold Coast. I've got a couple more to come. I've gone race 6. Oh no, obviously 3. Multi, race 3, Run for Glory, $1.60 into Kisakano, $1.70 for 1 unit for $2.70. And then in race 6, Beaufort Park, each way at $8. And then race 9, Happy Go Plucky at $17 and $4.60 for half a unit each way. All right, guys, that's the rundown for the tips this week. We'll start with around the grounds. Lee, have you got any?
Yeah, of course I do, mate. I've got a couple from Perth that we're going to get on. So the first one is race 2, number 5, Indigo Blue at $2.60. We're going to have 1.25 units a win on her. She looks a filly with a bit of upside. She started favourite at her first start after some nice trials, and you could just tell she needed the run. She raced greenly and got held up majority of the straight, but once she found clean air, she really finished off well. This race looks to set up a bit better for her, and I'd say that Johnson Porter will go up and sit outside the lead. I'm also a big fan of him jumping on because, as previously stated, he's a gun and he's flying this season. Saying that 1200 is a positive in my mind, and with that race experience now, she'll be ready to go. As I said earlier, I think this filly has the most upside in this and will be on to bigger and better things in future.
Yep, that's race 2 in Belmont, Indigo Blue at $2.64. An interesting bet in 1.25 units to win.
Yep. And then off to race 7, number 8, Cliffs of Comfort at $3.80. I'm going to have the same bet, 1.25 units a win on him. Looks a good race, this, with some horses coming into this with good form. Took this gelding on 3 weeks ago when I backed near Rodeo, who got the cash. But this guy was really brave in that. Sitting up on a really hot speed, 3 wide with no covering, kept kicking in the straight. This looks to set up much better for him today with no real other speed in the contest. He also jumps from barrier 2, so he'll be up on the speed and controlling this, which is what he likes. Back out to the 1200 is a huge plus as he is unbeaten at the trip, and getting in on the minimum will only help his chances. I think that's probably the best bet at Belmont on Saturday as well.
That's Lee's best bet in race 7 for Belmont. Cliffs of Comfort at $3.80 for 1.25 units. So I can see what you've done there. You've outlaid
just
rounds.
Just to round it off, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Adam, you got anything?
Yes, I do have one, mate, in Morphettville. Race 8, number 5, Garner, should be winning. Brilliant first up in Melbourne, taking him back home. He gets into this on the minimum with 54 kilos. Should be running a genuine clip with horses like Snickscraft going forward. And, yeah, I just think this guy will be too good. So just a unit and a half at the $2 for him, please.
That's a straight-out bet for Adam at Morphettville. Race 8, Garner at $2 for 1.5 units to win. Nothing for me around the grounds, so let's move on to Roughie Roulette. Roughie Roulette
is a very dangerous game, not for the faint of heart. Let us begin.
Roughie Roulette this week, we've still got that free 1-month subscription at $30 value to the first person to comment. Please tag a friend, guys. Like, it's not that difficult, is it? Like, they're not going to get up you for tagging them or vice versa. So let's just do it. Help us out. And there's obviously a cherry at the end there. You got a Jagger winner over $20. There's some big fields this weekend, so there's more of a chance to do that. I'm at the Gold Coast again. I know I've tipped Happy Go Lucky in race 9 at the $17. I'm taking on that Get Your Grey On and Prospectus in that race after we've tipped Get Your Grey On the previous time and it won. Race 9, I've got Tone Thing for a Tommy 2 at $41. I think it'll keep drifting as well. For half a unit each way, $41 and $9.50. The reason is I black booked bloke off his first up run over 1,350 metres. When he just got left behind early, they came home strongly. He was 100 to 1 that day. I think he was unbeaten a length and a half. Second up, Cloak controlled the race over a mile at Doom in a strong class 6 and kicked cleared. However, Tone Thing wasn't disgraced and kept kicking. Form out of that race is good with both Cloak and Reckless Choice. Reckless Choice destroyed them on Wednesday. In my notes, out of that Black Book run, I wrote he's looking for 1,600 to 1,800 metres, third up in Saturday grade. He gets that this weekend, and I think at that price, with the home track for the trainer, I've just got to outlay something. So that's my Roughie Roulette. It's a bit different. I'm having 2 bites at the cherry, but they're $17.41. So if one of them gets in the money, it pays off. Lee, what have you got this week? You're backing up from being your winner last week.
We're going Caulfield race 6, number 13, Odium at $31 and $6.50. I'm going against my watch horse here, which was agreeable from a couple of weeks back. Not overly confident, but I think I've got good reason to tip this winner. I think she's just underrated in the market. She was brilliant winning on debut before being flattened, turning from home in the same race as Agreeable last start. The impressive thing about that is that Walker balanced her up again and she passed 4 horses and was doing her best through the line, which I think just shows she's a good, tough horse and she's obviously got a bit of ability and some resilience to come back again after she got smashed and nearly fell. They look like they wanted to be a bit more positive in that as well. So I think from the draw, she might get a good run just off the speed in this. The step out and trip is also a positive. And Walker sticks, and he loves to get home some roughies on big days at Caulfield. I think obviously Absy would remember Mighty Boss, I think it was, in the Caulfield Guineas. It's also interesting to note that this race has only been run twice before, and the winners paid $18 and $31. So I'm hoping that trend continues here with Odium.
Yep, that's Odium in race 6 at Caulfield at $31 and $6.50. Adam, are you going to beat us? We're actually going to $31 and $41 this week, so we're not unders like usual.
Yes, it's good to see, boys. Good to see no 19s and 17s this week. going well. So anyway, I haven't beaches. I've come in under, but I am still a roughie. It's paying $23, and it comes up in race 8 in Randwick, number 13, Paths of Glory, former international in his first prep in Australia. This guy, he is dual nommed. He is nommed for the Newcastle Cup, but he's drawn better in the race on Saturday, and there's no Mugatoo in this race as well, who I think's just going to win that Newcastle Cup. So I'm going to go with this guy and hope he does start here. He was terrible his first couple of starts in Australia before really reversing his form, and now he's put 2 on end, including winning last start in the Wyong Cup. He really caught the eye there with his turn of foot late. So I'm hopeful he's going to continue to improve. They do have big hopes for him. He's nominated for the big cups, so hopefully he keeps on the upward spiral and gets home strong for us again at the $23.
Yep, that's Sydney race 8, Paths of Glory at $23. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. Yeah, there's as he said, there's a big race meet on tomorrow, and Mugatoo or Mugatu as it's called. He's a very horse Growski in that race. He better pull his finger out.
Yeah, he's a big chance, mate. He's definitely D-Day for him up to his more suitable distance. Same with Shared Ambition as well. You know, they're horses with big tasks ahead. They want to be running well in this, but yeah, I'm looking for value. It's a big, wide open field, so hopefully I can get it right for once.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Paths of Glory, and you're sticking with John Van Overmere again.
Yeah, I know. Haven't had much luck with him, have I? He's got a good strike rate for the trainer. Strikes at 25%, so hopefully that holds us in good stead.
That's it. All right, late date time.
What? Did we just
start a new segment?
Yup. Do you want to go
Lay some favourites in the podcast.
Yup.
Lee at Caulfield.
Leading off in the first, mate. I've obviously tipped Alvarado in this, but I'm going to lay it same principle as last week. I'm going to lay a horse in the same race. So that's number 3, Celestial Soul at $3.50. I'm not sure he's entitled to be favourite, in my opinion, in this. He was good last start, don't get me wrong, but he was $31 on the occasion, rightfully so. There was also Cumberbatch and Divine Diosa, who were unlucky behind him. And then Sarouge, who will press forward from the good draw, and highly unlikely she will get caught 5 wide in this, like she was in that race as well. His 2 starts prior were average, and he had every chance in those as well, and just happened to be the 2 starts that he's had more than 58 kilos on his back. In this, he gets 60.5 kilos, which is another mark against him, and his 2 best runs have come from wide draws, which he doesn't get this time, drawing barrier 1 on Saturday. I'm also very keen on Alvarado, as stated earlier, so I think we can take him on in this.
Yep, that's fair enough. Race 3 at Caulfield, Celestial Soul, $3.50. Adam, something short you're going to take on?
No, I've got a favourite I'm laying, but not as short as last week. I'm going to lay Bivouac in race 7, the shorts. He's a top line sprinter, first up. But yeah, I feel if you look back at his record, he tends to race best with a run under his belt, and he's also drawn terribly. He's out in the widest gate, so I think he'll probably have a similar scenario to what Masked Crusader faced last week. He's either going to be 3 wide with no cover, or he's going to be well back and, having too much to do. So I'm keen to take him on at the $4.
At the $4 there, Bivouac race 7. Surprised he hasn't come up shorter the way that the media's going a bit, but I think we'll find out the result on Saturday. For me, I'm taking on race 6, The Move, at $1.95. I think it's a good horse with a weight drop from its win at Ipswich. I'm pretty much taking on the apprentice from the tricky gate with the instruction to lead at all costs on a tight Gold Coast track, which she's unfamiliar with coming from Victoria. As I said, won at Ipswich, beat up some Kilcoy and Gatton runners last start, but the horse did it in time, which is the main thing, good time. There's probably 4 others that can win this and drawn to sit behind the speed and launch late. And one of those is Beaufort Park that I've tipped earlier. So hoping it swings that way and the move can get gassed early and something you can get over the top. All right, guys, that's it for this weekend. Have I missed anything?
Don't think so, mate. I think you've got it covered.
All right, Adam, have you got anything to say for the followers?
No, nothing, mate. Just good luck. Get into it. Hopefully we have a win.
Lee?
No, same thing. Good luck, and let's have a big Saturday.
All right, guys. As usual from me, best of luck. And as we always say on Just Wins, when you win, we win. So best of luck on the weekend.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and get involved in the comments. Best of luck and happy punting.
Can he do it? Chautauqua, he's flying! Yes! There's history!
But a champion becomes a legend. McCarthy never has won it. But the pride of Australia is the greatest show on earth.